Hello, teachers. I wanted to talk to you today about having backup plans in place. And in kind of specific terms, I'm talking about for when teachers are sick, when they've phoned in sick and you are kind of left stranded at the last minute. So I feel like our plans and our strategies around this have altered slightly recently because now we have the option of Zoom. So let's just talk through a few things that I feel you could put into place, a few processes, so that if you are suddenly left in a situation where a teacher is ill and she phones in sick, like you have a plan in place. So the number one thing I would say is to reach out to all your teachers and ask them for a schedule of times when they might be available at a real push if they really had to in order to cover. So say, for example, you have a teacher that just teaches for you on a Tuesday because she only wants to work one day a week because she's got a young family, whatever the reasons. But at an absolute push to help you out, she could be available on other days and other times. And, you know, maybe you have a ballet teacher that doesn't teach, for example, modern. But again, if it absolutely comes to kind of push comes to shove, she could cover a modern class, even though it's not her strength and her genre. She knows enough about it that she could step in. Or even teach an extra ballet class for those students that week. So first of all, reach out to your current teachers and find out what slots do they have that they could help you out with should you ever require it. And then using my system Trello, which some of you know I absolutely love and adore, I would have a kind of a team board where everybody's availability is on there. The next thing I would say is have all your teachers have access to that page so that if a teacher is sick, she can go straight onto the Trello board, look at the teacher's availability and see, okay, so this teacher has said that should I ever need it, like I could get cover. The teacher can then contact that person, find out if she's free, and then the first you may know about it may actually be your teacher contacting you saying, I'm so sorry, I've been up all night being sick, but I've messaged Mandy and Mandy can cover me. Are you okay for me to go ahead and organize that? And you're actually taking some of the stress and the responsibility off of your shoulders and passing it on to your teachers. Obviously, you've agreed all those days and times and who can cover what. And, you know, it just means that they take a little bit more of the work on for you. Now, when you've got all of your own teachers' availability, then put your own on there so that you know when you could actually cover if you need to. And then I would suggest contacting as many friends and dance teacher friends and friends with dance schools and try and collate a little bit of a list of other teachers that may or may not be available. Because, you know, hopefully as dance teachers and dance business owners, we're kind of happy to help each other out so that if something happens and you need cover and none of your team are able to do that, you have a second list of teachers that don't necessarily teach for you on a regular basis, but you do know of them and you know when they're readily available and you know that they've kind of come recommended. So you have a second go-to list that you could pick up the phone and start contacting those people. And then my third suggestion is that if you really have to cancel classes, you know, maybe that teacher that had to cancel the class can make that class up via Zoom at a later stage. It may be that you don't have a venue where you can make the class up, or it may be that the teacher has a limited time, but she could potentially do a class on a Sunday morning as a one-off to make that class up for your students. So a bit like we talked about, you know, we're never going to be afraid of a snow day again, having learned how to work on Zoom. You know, there's other ways I feel like Zoom may help us out in the future. And it could be as a, you know, once in a blue moon when you have a teacher that goes down sick, that you can say to your parents, we're really sorry, but the class has been rescheduled for this day and this time on Zoom in order for us to make that up. So I hope some of those little tips have helped you out and that you can start to put this together as a little process so that when somebody is sick and you're faced with this last minute, you've got a plan A, a plan B, a plan C. You've got a bunch of people, a bunch of phone numbers, you know when they're all available, and hopefully having to sort out the mess of a poorly teacher actually becomes fairly straightforward and a lot less stressful for you. Okay, I hope that helps, and I'll see you all again soon.